G'day everyone, welcome back to another episode of FatChat. Thanks for everybody that's regularly tuning into the pods. I've been loving all the feedback so far. I think the new segments have been a real hit with everyone from that's been listening, which has been great. And we're back for another episode. Matt Burton, welcome back for another episode. Third episode together, how good?
Oh, mate, it's made my year so far.
So good
Hanging
to hear.
Out with Body Man
well,
on a
I'll be
Wednesday.
honest, there's probably not that much that could... make your gear. Like, it wouldn't take that much because you enjoy just going for bike rides for hours and hours and hours on end and doing stupid shit. So
I mean, it's just been like medical issues or hanging out with Body Magic. So
which combine into one sometimes. Yeah. How's the week been with training? How you feeling? What's an update with you?
yeah, we've been blessed in Perth since last October. We haven't seen rain, right?
How good is it?
So getting back into training now. I actually raced for the first time this Sunday.
Super
the
exciting.
triathlon.
Nice.
So the last one was in December.
How big is this one?
Olympic distance is, what do we swim? 1,500, ride 40K,
Yep.
and then run 10.
Yep.
So it's long enough to
Get the juices going.
Yeah, make
Yep.
you remember. And then in 3 weeks' time is our state long course.
Whereabouts is this race? Is it in Perth?
Mullaloo.
Mullaloo.
Yeah. So down
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
okay.
coast.
Yeah, cool.
North.
Isn't there a shark that always goes up and down Mullaloo?
Probably.
They name it. It's called I don't know. It's Jeff or something. Yeah. Yes. Well, it will
Jeff,
be.
I think that is it. Yeah.
It will be this weekend,
Yeah,
Berto.
I don't know about that fitness, but I'm much happier than I was a month ago. So.
That's good. That's good. I've actually got a story for you. So this happened 2 weekends ago now. You know how Fred again was in town? So like this was for anybody that's not in Perth.
Well, anyone that's over the age of 35.
Yeah, that's right. So Fred again's this DJ that did this a bit of Australian tour, and he just sent everything into an absolute storm and frenzy everywhere that he went, because he does these like pop-up events. So he does like a show, but then he'll also do like one secret show that he's like, really cryptic about. He goes, I might be here. He puts like clues out as to where he might be. It's like his thing. Like, it's clever marketing. It's great. So he was in town, a couple of weekends ago, and everybody, it was this frenzy for all of my mates, or my sister, my cousins and everyone. They're going, where's he going to be? Like, they were tracking, trying to work out what nightclub he's doing a thing at. And there's all these crazy rumors going around. So every Friday, as part of like my group session that I do, I always chuck up a story, just being like, hey, everyone, yep. free group session, come on down, whatever, 8 o'clock, Leighton Beach, next to the Orange Box Cafe. Do it every Friday, right? And I was like, 5 o'clock on Friday. I was like, shit, I haven't posted anything up today. And I took a quick photo of myself and put up, this would be funny, because there was like nightclubs doing it, there was restaurants doing it, all this stuff. Oh, Fred again might be here, he might be there, we've seen him here, just like, just trying to crack into the hype. And I put on my story a rumor that Fred again playing a beach set, 8 a.m. Leighton Beach next to Orange Box Cafe. See you then, like something like that. Obviously about my session, clearly about my session, right? So I put it up, and I had dinner that night. So I left my phone. Wasn't really on my phone. And a few hours later, I have a look, and my phone Friday night has blown the fuck up, right? So like that story got 20,000 views. It got shared 1,000 times. Like a story being shared. That is like phenomenal, right? Just went off. So I've got people messaging me, and I couldn't believe it. I'm laughing and laughing, going, oh my God.
You just done it on a whim.
Yeah, I'm just like, I thought nothing of it. Like, it was so obvious.
My wife asked me, is he serious? And I was like,
no.
Never.
Sometimes.
He's a dreamer. Look at him.
Anyway, so I put it up, thought nothing of it. And then I thought, okay, well, so people there's not a mob of people that actually come down and really, really angry at me. I'll put some stuff up before I get there, an hour or two before, clearly making it a joke. So I was going, everybody, look.
Well, I slept there.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna be down Leighton Beach. I can't believe Fred again's gonna be there. I'm there every Saturday, like doing all this stuff. Super obvious. And then I get down the beach between 8 and 9 when I do the session. There would have been 40 to 50 people on different groups of people that are there. You could see them. They're all on their phones. They're looking. They're coming out of the bush.
What are they dressed in? What are they?
Oh, no, they're just like regular. There was also
mornings.
people doing fake runs, right? So that 100% telling the truth here. There was people, I could see them. They would go up the car park, and I think they would be like, oh, well, if he's there, great. But if not, at least we'll just go for a run and have a bit of a morning out or whatever. So I can see them up there and they're running because I said where the park was and you can see the heads swiveling around like this going like
No way.
And then they run up another 100 meters and then go back. It was so funny.
But so this is legit. He'll just pull up the decks anywhere.
Yeah, like that's his thing. So, but again, I'm thinking like, I can't be more obvious that this is not happening.
Did anyone join your fitness session?
One person joined.
Yes.
You ripper. One joined. So good. And then there was 39 out of the 40. Quite a lot of them didn't see the funny side of it. So
really? Unhappy with the body magic?
I had 3 lots of people. There was people would come in, 2s or 3s and you could see that they were there with their mates and they're trying to work out what's going on.
They recognise you, obviously.
Yeah, there was 3 sets of people. I'm talking abusing me. Like, I got a fucking bus down here. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God. I was like, come join. I was like, he didn't rock up. I'm so sorry.
Go and enjoy the beach.
Come and join in. I got an extra mat for you. Like, oh my
it's
God.
Free.
But I couldn't believe it. And then when I went to the gig that night, I had people coming up going, fuck you. I saw your story. So it just took off into something that I just did not think it was going to do. So,
where did he play?
At Langley Park. So it was awesome. It was such
No. Sorry, that was the show.
Oh, right.
Where was
he played
his little gig?
at a nightclub called Barb's that night.
Right.
Yeah, which is just like a, small little nightclub.
So they won't
thing.
tell anybody. He'll hook it up, roll in, and then they'll be like
he did like a street party in Brisbane.
Yeah,
they closed off a bit of a street. I think in New Zealand, he's done like a beach thing before. So I think that's why people believed it.
8 a.m. on a Saturday.
But I was like, why you believe? Like, the real ones obviously knew that it was a piss take, but the people that clearly don't follow me.
They obviously don't know you.
Yeah, they obviously don't know me. But anyway, hilarious.
They haven't coached you to an Ironman.
I had a lot of fun with that. But I also, the last couple of weeks, I booked a Europe trip as well. Mm-hmm. And as part of the Europe trip, I'm putting on the biggest Europe shred you've ever seen. I'm so excited to do it.
Drugs.
Yeah, no drugs, just chicken.
Drugs and more drugs. So we're all thinking at home.
Maybe not leading up, but maybe in Europe. But anyway, what happens in Europe stays in Europe. So I'm putting on this big shred, right? And what I kind of wanted to do with, I've been sort of like keeping a track of it on my gram, is instead of like doing like a full blown like meal plan, this is structured exactly what I'm eating. I wanted to kind of do it a little bit more like what I'm talking about more in my videos and sort of the coaching style and everything. It's just more about building habits and building it over time, right? So I started off by just doing some real basic ones for me, which were just cook more food, take creatine and protein every day, have a green smoothie every day, which I know that you love that I do. And every single time I put a smoothie on my story, I
swipe across now. I don't want to know.
And train every day. And then I've just put a new one in, which is do 30 minutes of cardio per day as well. So that's been good. So I've been like building on that. And like I said, I didn't want to do like a structured meal plan or anything for it, but it was just about like tweaking and just showing that you don't actually have to do something super, super structured to get some pretty decent results for. So I'm sort of starting on that, which I'm pretty excited about.
Habits. What we're calling you behind your back is box ticker magic.
Box ticker magic.
That's what you're doing.
Exactly, yes.
You're just ticking boxes
I'm
now.
literally ticking boxes.
You're making a checklist and you're like, right, I got to tick these 6 today. And it's quite smart what you've done. Not every day, but every week or 2 weeks on, you add another box.
Exactly.
And tick them off through the day.
Yeah.
Don't let the box get away.
Exactly. Well, it's very much like, I guess the coaching style that you actually did with me as well. And it was just tick it off. Tick your stuff off.
Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink. Just tick it off. Yeah. Whatever's there, just tick it off. So building that, which is real good. But I'm sort of, I think that my habits as well are going to be very different to what somebody else's habits are going to be. Because like I'm fine with cooking food and eating a relatively plain, pretty protein-filled diet and chicken tenderloins and a little bit of sweet potato and a bit of sauce and stuff on top. I'm happy with that sort of stuff. But I think that for other people, I wouldn't start as crazy as what I did. And you'd go back even more so. And it's even like something like you just put shoes on every day and tick that off.
Yep.
And then, let's go for a walk every day. Tick that off.
Or if someone who doesn't have breakfast. Have breakfast.
Exactly. Yeah.
Start there. A great start, that.
Yeah.
Do you have many people, a question from me, I guess, viewing this?
Yeah.
Creatine.
Yep.
Do people ask you about creatine?
They do, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
What would you tell?
What, as in how would I recommend taking it? Yep. So I have it for
just an everyday person.
For an everyday person that it will make you put on a couple of kilos. So don't stress when you see those couple of kilos go up on the scales. It's just stored water essentially. And as soon as you take it, it's just going to come right back off anyway. But take it for between 6 and 8 weeks. Do that for 6 and 8 weeks, and then have 6 to 8 weeks off it. And then you can sort of continue it on like that. But personally for me, I always find that I definitely put on a lot more strength, a little bit more size when I'm going through like a bit more of like an intense period.
Yeah.
But the problem with it for me is it makes me pee all the time.
So heavy fluid retention.
Yeah.
So this is another agree to disagree.
Yeah.
For the everyday person, don't waste your money.
No, well,
because we naturally produce it.
Yeah, exactly. So and you get it from red meats and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
But for somebody, it is in elite sport. It is common. It's just it's hard because it's not often batch tested from a doping point of view. So a lot of people...
It's pretty safe though, isn't it? Like creatine, creatine monohydrate though. There's not a lot that you could do with that, is there?
It's all made on the same processing belts and whatnot, right, as other stuff. So it's just avoided most of the time. But if you can get a pure form that is tested, it is good for just energy levels, essentially. Not everyone's trying to get massive or shred. It's not going to help make you put on excessive amounts of muscle or anything like that because your body naturally produces it. So you're just aiding in a little bit that you might have lost or haven't replenished in sleep or... So, for someone that wants to look like the Maj...
Get absolutely shredded.
Let's just wind it back 5. But, if you're just trying to get off the couch, save your cash.
Definitely. Well, I think that's just supplements in general. The only one that, for me, I think for pretty much almost every person would get a benefit from is probably having a protein shake per day. Like, even if that's someone that's even just starting, sure, fix up your food as much as you can. But the thing that I find with people that are starting off with, often they're pretty low in protein.
Yeah.
So that's almost one of the first things. Sort your food. Let's cook a little bit more food. But that would almost be the second or third step that I would go, cool, let's get a protein shake in every day as well.
Yeah, there's so many out there, right? And it's probably better to call it for somebody who's just trying to clean up their eating habits is a meal replacement shake.
Yep.
Which is going to be dominant in protein. So protein just will allow you to feel fuller for longer.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, so it's very...
Which is what I actually really like about it as well, because it's just like you can have one and you feel full for, an hour. Well, for me, an hour, and then I have to eat again. So.
And often it'll help you hydrate a lot more than you usually would.
Yeah.
Because you're getting in a lot of fluid.
Yep.
There's a big upside to it, and it will encourage you to then also eat a bit more consistently through the day.
Yep.
It adds a really simple meal in.
Yep.
So instead of just having the old school breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you can go 4 or 5, one of them being a shake.
Yeah, totally.
But, just check there's not too many sweeteners or,
Give me all them sweeteners. Give me all of them. Give me 10 in there. It tastes better.
Wow, did I get some hit back from that? Yeah.
So good.
People love a Coke Zero.
What is the problem? All right, you hate the Coke Zero, I get that. But why are you giving me so much shit and grief over my green smoothies, right? All I wanted to do was get more fruit and vegetables in my diet. I can't really be bothered eating them. And I just thought, and the green smoothies, they taste good for me. That's a good method for me to get it. And every time I put a story up, I'm going, what is this shit? Oh, you guys want to be pissing your vegetables away. All this stuff.
You went like fruit, water, fruit, spinach.
So
one bit of green. It's not even green.
No, but also it's the quantity of spinach, right? So no, it is.
Mate, you
it's
can eat a bag
serves.
and you're not getting much.
It's 2 serves that I put in. So a four serve bag, I put half a bag in. Like I'm talking like I'm smushing it and getting this spinach down deep in there, right? And then I've got cucumber. Do that one.
And a bit of water.
Yeah, well that's like a half a like they're big. I'm getting from Aldi now. They're big cucumbers. They're like this big. Chop that up. A little bit of kale. Chuck the bit of kale in there.
I don't like... Kale and I have an issue because Kale tried to take from the supermarket what spinach and iceberg lettuce have been given people for decades. Kale came in thinking it was all...
the hot shit.
Tips, blonde hair tips. And
I'm all for it. I love it. I love it.
You're a lazy vegetable eater, right? So take your...
Fair.
Take your smoothie and shove it. I just eat the veggies.
Oh, no, I can't. Literally, I would be crying if I just had to eat a bowl. Actually, I probably could do it, but the whole thing for it was it's easier if I just go.
It is. There
blend
you go.
it up.
From efficiency, have a smoothie.
Yeah.
Because you can add a lot more to it. But, if you just want some good nutrients, you don't have to add... This is another probably good tip. When you're trying to eat a bit healthier and you have a bit of meat for dinner, you might have some rice or some pasta. You don't have to have cauliflower, broccoli, asparagus, squash, pumpkin.
Yeah.
Just keep it to 2 or 3.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Right. And then choose the ones you like. And if you decide you don't like one of them, just choose another one in the supermarket. There's a lot out there.
Yeah.
But then if you're super lazy and you just never get around to that, just put them in a blender.
Blend them up. Efficiency,
enjoy the green grossness.
But I've been feeling pretty good with it, which is good. So every week I'll keep stacking on. So we'll, I guess, touch base next time and see what one I'm going to stack on next.
How many boxes?
How many boxes? Yeah, well, I think that the other thing, it can be too many boxes too.
Be.
That's the other thing.
Careful.
You've got to keep it simple, right? So I've only got, I think it's like 12 weeks now until I go.
Oh,
so
thank God.
Yeah, exactly. You get a few weeks
It's
off
my
there.
own show.
You can talk about
Real show.
Yeah, you can talk about Coke and stuff the whole time. You're loving it. You're just drinking full sugar Coke the whole time.
I'm just worried I'm going to walk into a server and someone's going to like just get at me about it. One of your fans out there, you know. How do you like this sugar?
If anybody wants to come on the Europe Shred with me, let me know. I'm doing like a particular gym routine as well. We can sort you out with that. But yeah, hit us up over at Body Majic to be part of the Europe Shred program. Let's go. Let's get big and juicy.
They get to go to Europe with you?
They don't get... Well, we can meet up in Europe. Yeah, for sure. I'll be Mykonos.
Fred will be there.
Fred will be there. Yeah.
Hey guys, Dan from BackChat here. While Gerard's mum is a real doctor, this segment is for entertainment purposes only. For specific medical conditions, make sure you seek the advice of your own doctor.
Dr. Majic, give me the news. I've got a bad case of vaginal thrush and lumps and balls, and we need you. We do need her. We very much do. Dr. Majic, welcome back for another episode.
Thank you.
The response to this segment has been the best out of anyone that we've done so far for the podcast, and we've got more questions.
Actually informative.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, so we got it's free GP advice, like so
Excellent.
general advice. If you have any specific stuff, please actually go in and book in
See
with
your
Dr.
own
Majic.
GP.
or your own GP, whatever. So we've got some more questions,
Excellent.
Ian, Mum. So I'll start us off. I was having sex and the stringy bit of the underside of my penis ripped. It bled for a while and now it's very sensitive. What should I do? As I hear groans from the back of...
Ow, that sounds
stringy
I've done that once.
Ow.
The banjo string. Yeah, the banjo string.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'd probably...
What is it called, that bit? It's not. Is it officially called the banjo string?
the banjo string. I'm
It's
thinking
not?
probably...
That's not the medical term.
No, it's not the medical term.
Well, again, this is why this segment is here.
Nice.
Okay, we learn, Matt. Yeah.
I don't actually know what it's called medically, so I'll let
So
you
would
down,
the stringy bit on the underside of your penis,
Yeah.
that works?
You're right.
that,
It's stringy bit on the other
Maybe that's what
side.
you start referring to it like that. Right?
Stringy bits.
Stringy.
I just read the questions. All right.
Yeah.
So what
Okay.
what do you do in that situation?
It's probably, well, I would probably let it heal first. Yeah, definitely not be putting it anywhere you shouldn't be at the moment. Yeah, and I'd probably use an anti-inflammatory cream, maybe something like hydrocortisone, and just give it, rub it on a couple of times a day.
What happens if we wake up with one of those morning erections like what we've spoken about previously?
Well, I don't think that's going to cause it a problem, is it? It's probably
Would it
more. It's
hurt?
probably more a
Is that-
friction rub, isn't it? Probably maybe use a gel next time you have intercourse.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
Gel,
use a lube.
great.
Did you say you have done this?
I've a very long time ago.
Do you know this is your mum sitting on the
Probably
couch, right?
Yeah, probably
No
frenulum.
problem.
It's called frenulum, I think. Yeah.
Did it happen on Love
Frenulum.
Island?
It didn't
to check.
happen. No,
I'll have
it
to check
didn't.
what it's
It didn't.
called.
It didn't. It took I reckon it probably took like a week to heal up, and then
Wow.
it was like a slow rehab after that. Like you really had to take your
Is it a bit around the gland's penis, you mean? The little bit
At the
there?
back bit, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that's a frenulum, yeah.
Yep. So that bit like tore.
Ooh.
Yeah. I've had
called?
plenty.
Frenulum.
Frenulum. You get one of them
Oh, yeah.
in your
Yeah.
mouth there.
So what? It's in your mouth. There's one in your mouth too.
Yeah, inside your mouth.
Oh,
there.
under your tongue.
No, up here.
Up the top.
Up the top there. If you have a look up there, you've got a little bit of skin there that holds your... Can't you don't know
What?
you've got one of
Oh,
those?
in here.
Yeah.
In your mouth.
Up
Yeah.
inside the lip.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, up inside your lip.
this
I'm
too.
getting my
Yeah.
tongue in the middle of my mouth here.
Yeah.
Going, okay, all right, that makes sense. All right, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, same sort of idea, isn't it?
Good to know that we got a spare in the mouth if you ever need it for,
need a
for the other-
replacement.
That is good. If you ever need to change the tyre. Cool, all right.
Wow. Okay. Did it heal, by the way, Gerard?
Yeah, it did. But then I've also
He
got
now
a
has
friend.
none in his mouth.
But I've
That's why he
that's
was
why I
a bit
couldn't
lost.
feel where it was. I go, where is it?
His lips just flapping around like crazy.
I know a friend.
Keeps your lip on there.
That his is hanging on by like, not that I've seen it. This is just what he's just telling me. It's already hanging on by just just there.
Thread.
It's really by a thread. Like it's of a thread of a thread. He reckons
Wow.
like one more and it could be gone. Like he doesn't know what to do after that.
Wow.
He'll probably book in to see. Anyway, that's right. Matt.
I have cold sores. That word's funny, right? People always get that wrong. It's like cold sores or coleslaw.
Coleslaw.
So just so people know.
But you've got cold sores, not
cold
coleslaw.
sores, right? This is my mother-in-law.
The salad
always
variety
always
is
calls
okay.
it
Yeah.
Coleslaw is strange. I'm so self-conscious of them. How do I get rid of them?
So where are they, Matt?
On my mouth?
Are they
Lips.
on your lips? Are they?
Lips.
So
Yeah,
they're
lips.
not on your penis. They're on your
No, not my penis.
not-
Clean. Very clean
Clean,
down there.
very clean down there.
Alcohol.
Well, I mean, what can you do about them? You can, cold sores, whether they're genital or oral, are caused by a herpes virus. Herpes is forever, unfortunately.
Herpes is a graphic name. People hear herpes and they run.
Yeah.
But I know
But
what
it
you're
is
saying.
the same.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is the same, isn't it? So if you got a cold sore,
Yep.
you can.
It's the same virus,
Same
but
virus,
type
yeah.
1 is up the top and type 2 generally down the
right.
genital area. So type 2
But
is
it's
a bit more
interchangeable.
virulent. They are interchangeable, but generally they stick to their own areas. Yeah. And you can go to the chemist, get some antiviral tablets these days for cold sores on your lips.
Okay.
Yeah, you take 3 tablets all at once and that can help it heal. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And you can get Zovirax.
Can
which
it
is
only be
anti-
transferred
long
by
time, innit?
if you're
Yeah, Zovirax. Yeah, the cream.
if you like touch it like lip on lip or
How's it transferred? Is that what you're asking?
no, I know how it's like contact, but like can it be transferred by say if I if I had one and I touched my lip like this,
Yep.
and then we shook hands or something, then you touch your
That's
mouth or
possible.
something.
It's possible. Yeah.
It's that contagious.
Stay away
It
from
is possible, but I guess people should be very careful
them in a
not to
room.
touch their lips when they've got a cold sore.
They had those leprosy pits at one point, I think, didn't they?
I think, yeah.
Quarantine if you got
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
please.
Quarantine, and I guess the biggest one is people kissing grandkids on near the eyes and stuff because that can be very dangerous. So if someone's
Can
got a cold
vouch.
sore,
Can
please
vouch.
don't.
Get when you see that coming.
Don't let anyone
Grandma,
kiss,
no.
kiss
Nah, you know,
your kid if they got a
grandparents,
cold
I
sore.
always go back to like kissing the grandkids on the lips. It's like, no.
Oh no!
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because the kid doesn't know. Little ones don't know. They just go to kiss wherever.
Yeah.
They're just sloppy. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's not what you need.
Oh, well, not all grandparents are sloppy and disgusting.
No, they're not grandparents. The kid.
Oh, the kid.
Yeah, they're just slobbery.
I was going to say, grandparents are nice people.
Lovely people.
All right, next one. I can feel a lump on my nut. Is that bad?
A lump on your so you've got your 2 testicles there, yeah?
I do,
They
yeah.
look the same. Have you got a lump on your testicle, or is it separate to your testicle?
It is. I think it's on my testicle.
Yeah, because there is a lump. I mean, each testicle has at the top of it has a little segment called the epididymis. That's little tubules, and you'll feel that little squishy thing. But so that's normal. But if it's asymmetrical and your testicle is more swollen, or you do have an extra lump, you must get that checked out. And testicular cancer is the most common cancer between 12 and 25 years of age in men. So
I think
all men
first
should know about that.
Time that you were telling me about, you got to check your nuts, Gerard. You got to make sure that you don't have any lumps. And I was like, okay. And then I've checked, and then I felt a lump, and I'm like,
You stress out real
oh shit,
What is that?
Like, oh my god,
I've got
freaking out. Like,
cancer.
oh my god, I've got ball cancer. No, fuck. And then,
Sorry about that, Jared.
But I think it's just my
just-
epididymis at the top there.
Yeah.
It's
So-
just a
so-
small testicle.
Just
Small
Only
It's
one.
important to know what your testicles feel like. I'm sure most boys do because you're very good at that kind of stuff. And then
important.
if something,
important.
You gotta
it is
check
important.
thoroughly.
It is important. It's what I tell women when they
Can one
have,
epididymis be bigger than the other?
yeah.
very personal now.
You can have asymmetry.
Just asking for
Obviously,
future references.
asymmetry is normal in your body, isn't it? You can have one foot slightly bigger than the other. You can have one boob slightly bigger than the
Are
other. but
testicles often the
definitely-
exact same size, or are they a little bit different?
Usually just slightly different. Yep.
Interesting.
Dominant, lefty or a righty?
Yeah, I have to
that's
check.
right.
I have to measure the boys up.
Measure 'em up.
Be a hard measure, wouldn't it?
This big.
Oh, you're very generous. My turn. Can you catch chlamydia from a
From a what?
from a public toilet seat?
No,
This is an
you
old
cannot.
lifestyle.
You cannot catch chlamydia from a public toilet seat. But still clean the toilet seat before you sit on it. That would be my advice.
It's hard to do in a public.
Yeah, with a bit of toilet
wipe
paper.
it down with
Just
toilet
give
paper.
it a wipe it down.
it a wipe,
yeah,
everybody.
These days everyone has wipes and gel in their handbags.
true.
I think maybe not your handbag, Matt. But
Yeah, I just
mine.
don't use public toilets.
You just
Right.
absorb it.
What, you
You
just
burn
pee on
it
the side of a
No,
wall
I
or
find
something?
a restaurant or something.
Yeah, I was going to say. What?
I don't call them public toilets. They're
Oh,
quality
I see. Right. Yeah, quality toilets. Yeah,
institutions.
fair enough. Yeah, that's true. No, you can't get STIs from.
Do you
toilet
absorb
You
it?
must just absorb it.
Suck it
Oh,
back
yeah,
in.
you just sweat it out or something, I reckon. That's how you do it. Yeah, you just keep riding for hours and hours. Where's it going?
I had a
Where's it
sort
going?
of vision of you peeing on the side of the restaurant's wall or something.
Oh,
That's what
no,
was
never. I
thinking,
did that
yeah.
once and the police chased me, so...
Yeah,
Did
right.
they? For
another
Yeah,
episode,
it's,
yeah.
Did they
it's
actually?
actually
They do.
a,
I went to court.
an offence.
Did you?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to... You have to plea to not have a criminal record.
Right, yes.
What, for
to
public
get a
urination?
spent
So I
sentence.
could travel to the US, to get a
Yeah.
spent conviction. Yeah.
Well, it's
I've got to move on from.
It's because I ran
being in
away.
public down
I tried to run away.
Oh, is that why?
So if you just... I've had plenty of friends like in town when you're out.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
1 a.m., 2 a.m. and you've already left where you've been. It was a dark car park, but
Yes.
it's hard, you know.
Oh my god!
Anyway,
well, we have to unpack that at a later point. We will have to. We'll come back to.
And
We'll
they,
circle
and
back
they
around.
actually,
Yeah.
they actually caught you, Matt. I thought you were a runner.
Oh, I had loafers on.
Oh, your life was on.
They were white though. I thought they'd have a bit of speed to it.
Not
But
good
then when
getaway
you
shoes.
lie,
Yeah.
well, yeah, it wasn't me. You're the only person in the
wasn't
vicinity. Running the stream, running down the road. Yeah.
And last one, Mum. Dr. Majic, I have really bad breath. It doesn't matter how much I brush my teeth. 20 minutes later, it's bad again. What can I do to stop it?
Yeah, well.
Because there's always, there's always
yeah.
some people that you go,
Yeah, I mean, usually, if it's that bad, if it's not your teeth and it's not your sinuses, it can be coming from your stomach. So it could be what you're
Really?
eating. Maybe that's not agreeing with you. It could be that you've got silent reflux, getting a bit of acid coming up. And when that comes up in your mouth on a regular basis, it makes your breath really bad. You may not be aware of it, but other people are. So if you do have that sort of problem, you could talk to your GP about
Is it
maybe.
true that you can't smell your own breath as well?
You can't smell your own breath.
can't?
No, you
Until you
can't.
breathe into a mask.
Yeah, but even that,
Well, everyone did through
even that, you
COVID.
can't really smell
No,
your
not
own
true,
breath.
true.
Yeah, but so it's a touchy subject that your partner might feel a bit embarrassed to sort of bring up with you, or wondering how they're going to say, "Look, Gerard, you've actually got bad breath, mate." But that because it hurts your feelings, doesn't it?
That
Gerard?
would hurt my
hurt your feelings. So if you think if everything else is fine, you were thinking maybe it's acid, you can go on a course of antacid medication. Like Nexium, one of those ones you can even get from the chemist for a month, and see if your partner thinks it's solved the problem.
Love it. Well,
My 2.5-year-old has bad breath in the mornings. It's shocking. I'm like, you're disgusting.
We do that.
Get away from me.
brush your
Oh,
teeth.
And he's
morning
like
breath.
breathing all over me.
morning
Yeah,
breath.
it's horrible.
Oh,
He
but
gets it from his mum.
dehydration, of course, is one of the
Yeah,
things.
he needs to drink more.
So morning
Thanks,
breath
I'm a
is
bad
kind of
parent.
normal. You're
Well, we all knew that. Anyway, very good. Thank you very much, Dr. Majic. That was so good. Questions, as always, FatChat at backchatstudios.com.au. It's a safe place. It's a safe space.
My
We want you to
pleasure.
send in all your stuff because we've got Dr. Majic, best GP in town, to go through it all. Thanks very much, Dr. Majic, for coming on in.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you, Matt.
So, Matt, I came across this survey that I thought was actually pretty interesting, and it was about people's biggest insecurities, right? So they had the list. There was about 20 different things.
Straight in your inbox. This one.
Yeah. So there's 20 different things here. And these were the top 5 that people are most insecure about. And there was stuff on this list, like there's physical insecurities, there's also social insecurity, all that sort of stuff, money, all that sort of stuff on this list. But the number, so let's go for number 5 first. So the 5th on the list was social status. And then the 4th on the list was age, which I was surprised about. Age. I was like, wow. 3, size of their penis or look at their vagina. Fair. 2, their weight. And then number 1 was body image. And that covered in specific things about a person. So whether it's I've got a mole here or lots of freckles or an imperfection or whatever it is that you think is an imperfection for you, that sort of came under that category to start off with, which I was surprised with, not surprised with some, and then surprised with others. Did any jump out with you that was surprising, or? I think
What was the 5th one?
The 5th one was social status, which I'll be honest, I reckon there's a period that definitely that would have been a thing for me, definitely
Insecurities.
during school. Yeah,
And then Love Island just...
yeah, exactly right.
Oh,
Yeah.
then it didn't matter.
No, but
yeah, I
honestly,
guess, I guess it really depends on the people you associate with and socialise with.
Yeah.
And, from a young age, if you've got a good group of friends, it really doesn't matter. each to their own there, isn't it? The first few, yes.
Yeah,
definitely. You
definitely.
see how they would be insecurities for people.
Number 1, 2, number 3 for sure. But yeah, then the age and social status, that was like a bit. I was surprised about the age. Like, what can
What
you
do
do
they
about
say?
that?
You never ask a female how old they are.
Yeah.
It's like an old tale, but people still
Still
stick
weird
by it,
about
right? So, you care?
Nah.
Oh.
Well, mate, you know what? I think maybe it makes you go, oh shit, what have I... Sometimes I go, oh my God, I'm turning 28 now, and what was I doing different from when I was 25? You know what I mean? Like, there's stuff like that, but I wouldn't say that's an insecurity for me. But maybe because I am still young, which is good.
Yeah, for any 21-year-old out there,
Yeah.
when you turn 30, I'm 36, when you turn 36, you still think you're 21
See, this
in
is
the head.
thing. Yeah.
100%. So I look at my old man now and I think, what is he, 65?
He
I
still
swear,
thinks he's
he still
21.
thinks he's 21.
Yeah.
You think, my niece will be right. Nah, you won't be.
In my head, I'm 23 because that was peak for
Yeah,
me.
right.
Like, that was the year for me.
Yeah, right.
And that's so funny. Yeah. So that never changes. You never feel older.
I don't think so mentally. I don't think your mind ages nowhere near like your body does. Like you still...
You can feel... you can
coaching
feel.
people alone, that get a bit older, they're always the same comment like, I don't bounce up as quick as I used to be. And I mention it too because you get health professionals say, remember at your age, your body, your tendons and whatnot, just going to take a bit longer to recover, or you can't just back up day to day like you can when you're 20. When you're 20, you can do a lot of high-end VO2 work and you'll be right the next day. You restore quickly in sleep. So it gets in our head. But then, I've worked with a sports psych for a long time, and that was the first thing she squashed. Like, don't even mention that again. Forget the age thing, because that's just going to limit you every day of the week.
Yeah, very
as soon as
true.
you think, I can't push that pace anymore. It's like, oh, can you? Like I've got older and faster. So it's like you just have to adjust the way you go about things.
Yeah, definitely. And like the body image stuff, that's obviously like number 1 and number 2 for
gonna be
weight
forever,
as well.
right?
Always going to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's funny. But I think that like the body image stuff, that definitely changes as you go, get older and you go through different things as well. So like for me, for example, even when I said, do you know what's so funny? Because even when I was like, oh, let's talk about this thing today. And you're like, oh, you're going to talk about your tiny calves. Do you know what my first insecurity was? I had to, actually, it wasn't quite tiny calves. It wasn't quite, first one was I still got a little bit gynecomastia when I was maybe 13, 14, 15.
Right.
Started going to the gym. And then that got my confidence up big time. And I was like, I went from, feeling really, really shit at school. Didn't really have a good circle of friends and all that sort of stuff you talk about during school. Started going to the gym. I felt so much more confident about myself. And I was like, I came in first day of year 12 after having, the school holidays, and I just had this big growth spurt. And I'm like, feeling good, like popping out of the school uniform. It was great. It was one of the best days ever. It was so good. But then we had like the school swimming carnival a couple of weeks after that. And like for me, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm looking awesome here. How good's this? Look at all these little puny ones. I look amazing, right? That's how like my confidence I was feeling. And then got to the school carnival and I was like in one of the races, get my shirt off, and I'm like, yeah. And then they like start going, what's that on your nipple? And then it was like, oh, your big tits. You got tits here, blah blah blah, all this sort of stuff. And then that was the thing that I was most insecure about for years after. And like that was something that I looked at that when it first happened. I was like, oh shit, I must be getting massive because I'm getting like the, like the change of like my
full
chest.
peck.
Yeah, like that's what I thought it was. And then it wasn't until somebody else made me feel insecure about it that it made me feel insecure.
School swimming carnivals, mate.
Bro.
They kill people.
Traumatic.
It's like, it's the only time of year when kids who slog away all year, who go to swim squads, have street cred. So keep on it.
Yeah.
If you're one of those good swimmers, like don't keep going until you finish school at least, because then every term one comes around, you're on top of you're a king.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But yeah, that's why a lot of kids, not swimming today, to be insecurity. So it's from a young age, and like you said, it would change as you develop, or as men, we're I guess fortunate in a way not having children. We're not her bodies aren't changing in a rapid or a massive way where we have to then deal with what comes post that, and so that's something that we can never really understand. But that's that whole changing as you age, as you mature. The body image things would definitely change, but. Yeah, I think also as you mature, you need to become more robust.
Yeah,
that's the only real way.
Well, I think that it was more so that for that, I remember going, this was, probably like 21, 22. So that was, that's like 5 or 6 years or whatever after high school now. I went to go get it surgically removed, went to all the different surgeons to do it. And then I just thought, it was getting a bit much. And I was like, nah, okay, I won't do it. But I'm so glad I didn't, because I think dealing with that, I've still got it, but I couldn't give a fuck now. Yeah. But going through that, I think then, like you said, makes you a little bit more resilient to other stuff that then comes up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knowing how to deal with it and knowing how to go, you know what, actually it's probably just me that notices that, and who cares, and everybody's body's a little bit different and all that sort of stuff. So it's funny how that changes. Is there any, for you, have you ever had any body image stuff ever?
I was a chunky kid.
Were you really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Initially, primary school, I was quite tall.
Yeah.
My parents, my pops, my granddad, they're all quite tall. So, you're quite dominant through primary school in ball sports, which is very Aussie. But then, I just kept a lot of baby for that early high school. And I just didn't want to do no swimming carnivals or for that sort of reason. And my old man would always get at me about I find it funny now, but it was probably a motivator for what I did come year 12 sort of time. Couldn't run out of sight in the dark night.
Yeah.
Because I literally couldn't. I remember just not even worrying. I was just useless. But then it was, I went to the gym, and then I got into, we're coming into this season now, but the City to Surf was a big deal at the time. I was still playing footy and cricket, but it wasn't until I actually engaged in my own, health and fitness, I actually started to improve and be able to perform okay at a local level.
Yep.
But I would definitely, there was no capacity for me in terms of, I was skillful playing footy at school, but I had no engine. So I just had to sit down the forward line, and it wasn't until I stepped out of school. It's a hard thing. It's one thing, I guess, I talk to schools when I go and give presentations, but a kid sitting there doesn't believe it when you've gone and maybe achieved a few things, and you run marathons now, so surely you weren't that bad. I was terrible.
Yep.
I remember doing the 1500 one time and got lapped.
Really?
That's not many laps of the track, mate.
Wow.
Yeah, I just blew. You don't understand it at the time, but it's I just couldn't run. So...
It's crazy how impactful school stuff is, though. Hey?
Massive!
It's actually crazy because even from that, with that sort of group of guys that were making me feel like that.
Yeah.
That then definitely 100%. I didn't really have a good solid group of friends all throughout pretty much most of my school, but I think that's why I think I've got pretty good interpersonal skills now. But I think that's happened because of that, because I was so insecure about, oh my God, I'm always this outcast in the group. I can't really fit in here, fit in there. So that's why I work extra. I think felt like I had to work extra hard to be,
that's why you're super needy.
Exactly. No, but that's right. But as in 100%, 100%. But then that has then translated into lots of other good stuff as well from that, which is funny. So
you're very personable. Whereas I was fortunate. I had a very similar group of friends all the way through.
Yeah.
Lived in the same neighbourhood. And everyone just supports one another's, I guess, weaknesses, really. It's without even thinking about it and being thankful at the time. That's what allows you just to be yourself until you decide, I want to go and be fitter, or I want to go and be, stronger, or focus on my professional life, or whatever it be. But yes, definitely. And you still have moments now. I'm in a sport where it's all about being lean.
Do you get it with performance stuff? Do you reckon as well? Is there any sort of insecurity part? Not talking body insecurity part, but insecurity about achieving and nailing certain things. Is that a thing for you? Race wise?
Yeah, you constantly have people make comments like, "Oh, if only you worked on you worked on his swim." You constantly hear it, right? It's a weakness, but for 15 years. I can guarantee you, I've probably swam more than most swimmers in the sport, trying to improve
Get up there, yeah.
And the first Ironman I ever did, I swam 1 hour 10, and now I swim 50 minutes. So it's a 20-minute improvement. But people don't see that because they haven't been watching all along.
Exactly, yeah.
But for me, it's I'm at a place I never thought I'd get to. So I'm very proud of that, right? And so it's fine for people to make those comments. And now it used to be it's, fuck them, let's get stuck in. But now I'm not bothered by that at all. I know what I can achieve from a physiology point of view, and so it's personal. I guess personal insecurities in what do I want to be my son to be proud of. I guess I need also my wife and my parents have been extremely supportive. So it's like, how do we achieve it rather than just, being disappointed in myself? Yeah.
No, I love it. Well, I think just highlights that everybody has got different things that they go through.
Absolutely.
And, you just have to just keep constantly working on it. And you're probably not the first person to go through all these things as well. That's another really nice thing that I always think about if I ever, get into that sort of mental space without anything like that. It's probably someone else that's also out there. But I hope that maybe helps. If somebody is listening out here with a little bit of an insecurity of whatever it is, don't worry. We've all fucking got them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, don't stress. Don't just embrace
Body magic
it.
more than most.
Yeah, heaps on body magic. Yeah.
Knob. I did I say that? I don't think so.
And the last little bit of fat chat for this week, I have got a snippet of an interview that I did with the West Coast co-captain, Liam Duggan. Liam Duggan is one of the nicest people you will ever meet in your entire life. And the highlight here is just a little glimpse of what the full episode that's going to be posted on Friday is all about. Some of the insight into Liam. He's just a bit of a different guy. He's not on any social media, which I love. He's one of the most grounded, just everyday people. Anybody could go and have a chat with him. It was really great to sit down and hear everything with Liam and his career so far. If you want to hear that full episode, it comes out this Friday. So make sure you check that out. Listen to the little highlight clip that we've got right now, and make sure you follow, like, and subscribe Fat Chat on any of the channels that you're listening on. Bloody love your work and enjoy the highlight with Liam. This all ties in this question to exactly everything you've just said then. Mental health and sort of keeping yourself, sharp and, relaxed is such a massive part about performing, which you've just said in everything there. The other thing I was so interested about, you don't have socials. You don't have any social media, right?
Yeah.
How does that? That must be that must be really, really nice in terms of taking the pressure off and, not buying into all the stuff that's being said. Like, that must be awesome.
Yeah, mate, it's great. I mean, I've been off it for 4 years now, completely off sort of all of them, like Facebook, Instagram, and all the other smaller ones. And I love it. I don't feel any need to get it back. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. And the best part about it is if I want to see something about
you'll see it.
How I performed. Yeah, I'll go and I'll be able to find it somehow. So it's sort of I don't know what it really stemmed from at the time. I think I just wanted to have a crack at it and just sort of was thinking to myself one day while I was scrolling like we all do, and I just said I don't really need to see all of this. It's just stuff, and I'm just every 10 seconds my brain's getting something else, and I didn't really research like that. That where every 10 seconds we're getting something else, we need something fresh.
It's that dopamine hit and the slot machines and all that sort of stuff.
It made sense to me when I was thinking about it back then. It's just I'm filling my head with stuff that is just irrelevant to what I need or to what I'm doing. So I got rid of it and just haven't ever felt like coming back around to it. And it's nice in a footy sense too, because unfortunately these days the ones that do want to get to you and have a crack,
you're so accessible.
You're very accessible. So I hear stories of the boys coming in and they laugh about some of these messages that they're getting, and it's a small minority, but they're still accessible from this minority. So they're copping wax and you ruin my bet and all this sort of stuff and every expletive under the sun. But now no one can touch me with that. So even because there's got to be some sort of subconscious aspect to that, even if you're reading it and you're having a laugh about it. But it's like I feel like 3 hours later you'd still have that thought in the back of your head, like
absolutely,
I missed that goal and this guy didn't win his money and now he's having a crack at me. So parking all that's been really nice.
Absolutely. Do you reckon from the day that you started doing that, you started feeling more confident or better, or a little bit more sort of present in everything that you were doing in your career? Or
a little bit. There's just something nice about whether I play well or I don't play well. There's just something nice about knowing that I can move on from it quicker than maybe what I would if I was reading some of those comments. And I know people say don't read the comments and don't.
But you can't if it's there. You can't help yourself.
It's almost human nature a little bit too. So I definitely feel like I'm lucky in the sense that I could just move on from a game. So it's I can walk into the club or I can walk past a West Australian and one of the boys might give me a bit of flack about how I like a kick that I shanked on the full, or I might see the West and the back page says something about us, and I can still see all that and hear all that, but it's it's only a little bit of what I could be hearing. So
Absolutely.
I think that's really nice to be able to move on from a game. And I would encourage, like I said at the start about being in my first 3 years and having that weight and waiting to be dropped or whatever it might be, that at the time, having social media certainly didn't help with any of that, because you will read it if you did have a poor game. You almost go looking for the comments about you having a poor game. And I did that. And a lot of people say they don't do it, but I would. I would question a lot of them that say that. I feel like it's, even myself, who I thought didn't do it, I was doing it when I got off social media. I realised I was doing it.